Good morning, everyone. Ads from UTG, another morning update for everyone. Before I start, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. It helps us out a lot. You won't miss anything or any videos that we do. We're going through redoing all of our beginner series as well. So if you're unsure on how to draw anything, fibs, trend lines, support and resistance, there's looking for the word now, supply and demand in there also. So if you haven't looked at that already, check it out, like and subscribe. That would be great. So moving on to the charts. So BTC, after last night, we had our Tuesday night live session last night with myself and Tex from the Discord. Nothing much is really changing besides, this downwards descending structure that we're really finding ourselves in now. And moving towards this demand level. However, overnight, in the candle preceding this one, we have eaten up most of this level now. So this liquidity is declining quite rapidly. That we're finding ourselves with this small pause in the market, this 4-hour structure here. And this level, or this CME level, which extends, from about 4.7 to all the way to about 9.4. That is slowly declining, or where we are slowly declining towards that, and looking to fill that gap, hopefully within the next couple of days to but to the weekend. I think we'll see some sort of movement there. BTC, nothing much more to see though. We are making this descending pattern here, hence the name of the stream. We are moving towards that also. If we draw our ray in there, you can quite easily see that we are forming that sort of descending triangle pattern, and we are making our ways towards that. It could even be, a channel as well if we want to draw it towards that too. So a couple of different bits and pieces to look at with BTC. Nothing much more to say, however, on that. We are still declining. We are heading towards that CME gap. It wouldn't surprise me if we fluff around here for a little bit longer. So if we get rid of this upper trend line, lower trend line, it wouldn't surprise me if we fluff around along here for a little while, even as far as retesting that 23.6 as we have already, or even coming up to this level here at 10,300 before rejecting and coming down. That would allow the indicators, steamroller specifically, to cool off and give us another leg down on this time frame. I'll move on to ETH, however. Where are we? That one there. Yep. And I'll actually put the header on there so you guys know what I'm talking about if we watch it back. So ETH, very similar position to BTC. If I had to draw another trend line in towards, you know, that bottom demand there, we are seeing the same sort of pattern emerging. However, ETH not really giving us the same sort of price action as BTC in downturn or downwards movement, because this last night, this preceding candle, over the course of early morning Melbourne time, we didn't make another lower low. So that's an interesting play for Ethereum. I don't think it's immune, however, from what's going on around the world. And I do think ETH is on the same trajectory as BTC, and I think we'll see that 318, 320 level retested again. Whoops, there we go. Now, I just want to have a quick chat about what's been said in the Discord and everything like that. A couple of days ago, maybe even a week ago, I did mention in the Discord, and I think I mentioned it on the live as well, that we were waiting for Labor Day US for some of these major regulated markets to make a move to the downside. And it seems to me emerging at the moment, and we'll have a quick look at those things this morning. And I've got a few requests that I want to go through as well. JB, we'll have a look at the crypto stuff first, and then we'll go over to the reg stuff. So Dory wants to have a look at ADA, so we'll do that. If you have any requests and you're watching right now, slap me in the general channel of the Discord and tag me. ADA BTC, if you're looking at the BTC pair, I did post this last night as well for my dude Dill, and I'll fix that up right now. So we are sitting at the scene of the crime, basically from when we started at 877 sats, and we are sitting at here very nicely now, and with Steamroller looking quite nice with that double bottom, and we're just getting this buy signal emerging on Steamroller. It's just disappearing. So depending on the price action that we get, we could see that happen again. In terms of targets from here, or upwards areas of interest, we could probably look at something like that. However, we do need BTC to really settle, start moving to the right hand side before we see even the high cap alts like ADA give us a sort of flurry. If we do see some more downward trajectory movements on BTC, you could easily expect the next zone at 800 sats, and even where we tested down at 700 sats to be tested for ADA, but not looking like that at the moment. With some of the price action that we've seen on this level of demand, we have respected it very, very nicely. And you can see, if I just zoom it in, we've had two closes above it, and then we've had a number of respected wicks to that level too. So it would need some sort of decent volume, decent selling pressure in ADA to move through this. It's not looking quite likely at the moment, but I am keeping my eye on it, as I am with BTC. As I am with BTC, I am accumulating ADA as well. I am looking for a longer term swing position on the daily time frame for ADA as well. So one that I'm looking at myself as well, Dory. Thank you for that. I will have a quick look at the USD pair as well for ADA if you're looking at that also. So this was charted up from a little while ago. I'll get rid of some of this stuff. ADA back at the scene of the crime as well. I'll probably use the entire red candle there. With the USD pair, you could see some more movement. I know we're sitting on some sort of support here with this liquidity just to the left. You can see that pretty much immediately from the ray for the horizontal line there on the left hand side. This liquidity is quite strong. However, the main demand zone for ADA will be back at the bottom here, where we moved up and out of that zone. So a cheeky sink bid for ADA might not be a bad idea. And again, we're in the same scenario with this trade here, or this asset here, with Steamroller giving us that nice double bottom oversold signal. And we're looking at very similar scenarios here with the CCI and RSI. So the next request that I've got is TRX. We'll have a quick look at TRX. And I'm assuming this is the BTC pair. So Tron's been on a really nice run. We've had 169% or 170% since the move from the bottom. And if I turn on Unicon there, yes, absolutely a fantastic entry signal with Unicon. and a nice pivot signal at the top there with Unicon also. So not a bad indicator. If you haven't checked it out before, have a look, unitytradinggroup.com. Unicon's on there. There's a number of different applications that it has, but a very, very nice signal from Unicon. If I had to draw in the fibs, so I'd be taking it from swing low to high. This is on the daily time frame. If I move it over to the 4 hour, you probably get a little bit of a better idea on what it's doing. So it's pulled back to the 61 and it has bounced from there. It's a little bit tricky to see TRX use supply and demand. However, you could only use it, on the daily time frame at this given stage. And I'll draw the higher one in. There you go. So a nice rejection off that supply there. There's all the. You could see TRX in the longer term, maybe mid-term, I would think, over the course of the next week. If it does not give a shit about BTC and where BTC is going and what it's doing, you could see it back up here at 440 sats for a second retest of that level, giving you a double top scenario here. Otherwise, I'd be looking, in the immediate term, I'd be looking for that 23.6 fib level 394 to be held and respected if we break above and close above this 38.2. So we're at a crucial point at the moment. Fibs are being respected quite nicely with TRX. If we're talking about the 4 hour, the indicators, while they're going to the upside, they have a little bit of room to move, especially the RSI. So not in a bad spot. If we can confidently break above this 38.2 and we have some decent volume come in, and I'll switch over the volume so you can see that. If we have some decent volume come in, if that MA on the volume continues to, or stops declining and starts to incline, we could see TRX back up to this 23.6. However, when I'm talking about these altcoins right now, I do need to say that these are high risk at the moment. We already know that BTC is declining towards that gap. It can have more downwards movement and it can drag all these altcoins, especially the ones that are paired against BTC, like TRX, BTC. It can drag those down even further. So be very, very careful. This is a very, very clear warning for you guys that are trading alts. Just have your stops in the right place and make sure you're all things considered, you're considering BTC. The next one that I'll have a look at is XVG, Verge. So if you're trading on Binance and you're a AUD user, they have banned you from trading Verge, if you guys didn't know that already. I'll flip it over to the daily so we have a little bit more to work with here because of the price action. With Verge, there's a level of demand just here, and it is quite close to the other one, using that candle there. But that consolidation below looks quite nice as well. This area here, which is basically returning to the scene of the crime, or returning where Verge started its run back down the bottom there. So yes, I am considering this demand valid, and of course we know that with the price action that we've seen there with the closes and the wicks to that downside there, and pairing that alongside Steamroller, RSI, CCI as well. I'm not discounting the level of support that we have around this area here, however. I'd put it around 34 sats. Do I think it's going to get there with this, with its run at the moment, this run to the downside? It's probably a little bit stretched to get to 34. You could have a snap wick or a snap sell-off towards that 34 sat mark for Verge. And if that's the case, then more than likely get bought up pretty quickly, I'm assuming, with some of the bids that would be down there, or some of the liquidity that we find ourselves in there. However, as Verge gets down in terms of the sat level, it'll be harder and harder for it to move because the orders will be stacked quite heavily in the books. So I'd be considering that. However, with Verge, if you're looking at it right now, that's the major demand level, and the swing level right now for this asset would be up around the 70 sat mark, or just underneath at 69 sats, where you have that rejection just to the left, to the right there of that supply forming. The next one we'll look at, we'll jump back into the reg stuff. We'll have a quick look at the DXY and then we'll have a look at the indexes. Obviously, the DXY being a regulated market, this is not financial advice, just ideas from us here at UTG. So we have been talking about this level of supply quite regularly, and we did speak about it last night. Right now, we're doing what we said would happen. We are moving towards that 93.8, that 93.8 supply zone where we see these levels respected just to the left here. And I do think if we get enough momentum and we get enough volume over the course of tonight and tomorrow night on the Forex market, obviously all knowing that we're in Melbourne right now, so we are looking for 11 o'clock onwards for the volume to come into this market. I would expect this to get to 93.8. However, we are quite stretched on the 4-hour time frame at the moment in terms of the indicators. So it could be a little bit of a slow walk up to that level of supply where we see our 27 extension there lining up quite nicely at the 93.8 level too. But that's where I'm looking for this. We've looked for this supply to break, and our next target, obviously, or next area of interest, should I say, would be that 93.8 level of supply also. So looking forward to that. To get a request from JB, however, for the US 30. So we'll have a look at the US 30. If I go to all, there we go. We'll have a look at Awanda. So in Awanda, I haven't charted this previously, so we'll have a look at this on the 4-hour and the daily time frame. And I'll flick back over there so I can see what's going on. So I'll draw this on the fly, and we'll see where this is going. We've obviously got a level here. We've used the entirety of the candle to draw that level in, and I'll zoom in a little bit further so we can just snip that up a little bit further. So it's a pause in the market. We've had this run up, we've had the pause, we've had a retest to the right. It's fairly small, but it is there. And now we've bounced off that quite significantly at 27,241. If I had to draw some zones in on the US 30, on the Awanda chart, then I'd be more than likely looking on the daily time frame because this is going to move quite slowly. We've got some levels that I'm interested in, first of which being here. We've got that retest to the right. And then we've got some more levels down the bottom here. Obviously, they're quite a stretch away, though, at the moment. The main level on the daily time frame, if I had to draw one in, would be more than likely here, if I had to draw one in. So we've got this candle structure here, the retest to the right. This is the 4-hour one, which we've bounced off. More than likely, we will see this decline towards the daily level at 2,600 for the US 30. And that really lines up very well with our level of with our steamroller trajectory at the moment as well. So that's the US 30 for JB if you're watching in the Discord. The last one we will look at today is the AUS or the All Ords. It's getting a bit long for a morning update, so I'll keep this snappy. We have had a very sharp reaction from the events that occurred in America last night in terms of their index. So we are sitting back at this level of demand. Whoops, wrong tool. We are sitting back at this level. Basically, I was looking at this structure to the right-hand side and this structure again. So that's where I'm determining, these levels and these wicks to really settle. But in all honesty, if we look at the daily time frame, we look at what the All Ords is doing or what it needs to do. We're on a downwards trajectory now with Steamroller again. And I'd be looking more towards this 5-7 level after clearing out this liquidity at the 23.6. That's it for the All Ords at this given time. So thank you all for watching. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. Have a look at unitytradinggroup.com. Instant access will bring you over to our custom indicators. Join the Discord if you haven't already. Thank you for watching this morning update. We'll see you guys tomorrow on Thursday for our live session at 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Thanks for watching. See you guys then.